principles. Normally, like I said, you wouldn't be riding this long, but we're always being functional. Keep riding.
Keep riding?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Everything I do is for a purpose. Posture, technique, form, and all represent harmonious balance with our body. So when you're riding, you want to make sure what you're doing pretty good, that your knees are up, you're working on your breathing, you actually got good posture, good form. We may change it as far as repetition. We also will use the elliptical and things like that. So sometimes if I see you out of posture over here, I'll say get your knees in, or you know, say control your body with your breathing. It's all about controlling yourself, recovery, being efficient. If you are efficient, you will probably look efficient. You understand? That's not necessarily all the time true, but it's closer to the same than not. Okay. I'm going to explain legs. And it's not going to be my normal explanation of how I do it, because it's going to be functional, because we're actually trying to do something. And then I will explain it, I'll demonstrate it, and I'll have you come and participate and do it. Okay, legs, there's a lot of different ways. I guess we should start with the primitive movements or movements. There's a lot of different things that, well, not a lot of different things, there's a couple different movements that we're performing, working out, that's relevant to us in evolutionary, the way our body functions. So we can push, we can pull, we can bend, we can squat, we can rotate, twist, and there's something, maybe something else, that's about it. So we use those movements to actually be functional, or actually exercising, to actually, a lot of things goes back to just basic human survival, or just the way that we have evolved, that keeps us healthy. I practice and I teach along those principles, so I try to use movements and think of things that are functional when I'm doing these particular things. Like if I'm doing a squat, I think of dancers. People are like, why do you think of dancers? Because I like the lines of dancers, I like the range of motions. If I'm working on range of motions, then I'm working on full contraction, elongating of the muscle fibers. I'm working on the connective tissues and tendons and stuff, joint health, and all the other things. Sometimes I may not do that because my thought process may be in the weight capacity or be in the speed capacity. But everything that I do has a principle, and I only sacrifice certain things to express or to exaggerate the other principles that we're working on at that particular time. So although it may seem like, okay, we do one thing one way, all these things are performing on the basis of a complete picture of health and a complete picture of functionality at whatever age or whatever ability that you have to where it is that you're trying to get to. And the byproduct of all that is always usually looking good, feeling good, functioning good, and being healthy. So I take the being healthy approach of functionality and make that the primary, and the secondary goals are usually met by taking care of the primary goals. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever your drive is, it can be your drive, but my technique and the way that I teach and my big picture is always about health. In the process. So, safety. When performing a squat, that's one of the primary primitive movements. The bar always have markings on them, so there's a lot of different ways you can squat. Actually, I'll start this way, so that you can do this at home. You have bands, which is really easy. If you spread your feet out, it's usually about where your heels feel like they're underneath your armpits. That's your neutral stance. Like if you're going to take off and jump to the moon, this is where you would start from. You wouldn't start from here, and you wouldn't start here. So this is like the natural position. Back up a little bit more. My number one top secret thing is posture. In athletics, if you ever played athletics, and if you ever watch athletes, or if you ever watch any sports again, or you ever watch anybody do anything that perform well, there's a stance and there's a position that we all must get to first. The first thing is our hips has got to rotate backwards. We have to have a slight bend in our knees, and our spine and our chest has to come up. So if I'm getting ready to bat with a baseball, you'll see me standing like this. If I'm getting ready to run, you'll see me standing like this. If I'm shooting a free throw, you'll see me standing like this. If I'm golfing, you'll see me standing like this. If I'm getting ready to throw a pass, you'll see that same posture right there. If I'm getting ready to make a tackle, you'll see that same posture. If I'm getting ready to hit a tennis racket. So you can see that every athlete gets to that posture. It's like in golf. Golfers have all kinds of different ways that they swing and crazy stuff. But at the point of impact, all golfers are like this at the point of impact. And there's a reason for that. That's because that's the most efficient way and really the only way to hit a golf ball efficiently, standing from the side and hitting it far and everything else. So they may do some crazy loops and all this other thing, but when it gets down to the very basics, inside where it really matters, where the rubber hits the road, this is where they at in their golf swing. 99.99% of them. I've never not seen a golfer in that. And there's a reason for that, because that's efficient and that's where your body gets to. And so in exercising, no matter what it is you're doing, if you're doing a bicep curl, you'll always get in this position. If you're doing a squat, you'll always get in this position. If I'm, let me change the camera so you can get it. See, I get so, I was about to say squat, but I'm also teaching this. I'm also teaching you whatever I know me to. So if I'm about to bench, I'm doing the same thing. My foundation is my feet. My butt is because I'm connected to the bench with my butt. If I'm laying back, part of my foundation now become my feet, my butt, my shoulder blades. I can actually feel the arc between my back because I'm in that position, and my hands to the bar. So everything that is not part of a foundation is actually part of my, that is not connected to something, is actually part of a working process. My foundation is, I consider to be part of the apparatus, the machine, or what it is that I'm doing the work with, no matter whatever it is. If it's this, now my feet is the connected part, and my arm or my hand, what I'm pushing with, is also another connected part to the apparatus. So no matter how I move it, these two things are part of the mechanism, a part of the machine, and now the rest of my body is what I'm actually working in motion. You understand? No matter how, whatever way I'm doing this, no matter, unless I'm up in the air, and now I'm just connected to this. You understand what I'm saying? That's my phone. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get back to what I was talking about over here. Hello? Yeah, who's this? Hey, I'm sorry, Dallas. Hey, I'm with a client right now. Can you give me a call back in about an hour, please? All right, thank you. I knew I got, because he's on the East Coast, is a supplemental rep guy that wants to get it with me. He's on the East Coast, so when he said 8, I wasn't thinking about that. So, with that said, now we're going to talk about what you're going to do at home when it comes to squat. So you have these bands, and you have your hands in on even on both sides. If you bring them up to your shoulder, now you just created tension with the bands as far as like when you're coming down. So if your heels are under your knees, your feet are usually a little bit flared out, but to neutral. You flare them all the way out. That's like a ballerina. Call that a pirouette. And that's working the more middle part of the muscles of the leg. If I keep my feet close together and pointed forward, then I'm working the lateral, the outside portions of my legs. If my knees come, you'll see it on the video. If my knees come over my feet, then I'm usually working the more lower part of my legs. If my knees are back behind my feet, then I'm usually working up in here in my hips as far as my quads go. And that's with feet placement and stuff. That was really quick, but we'll talk about it later. Alright, so what you're going to be doing, if you bring it up and you see how it just kind of hits on the outside of my hand, we're going to do it for pace, so you're going to stay on the rep. So you're going to go down, come up, 1, 2, down, come up, hips come up, slight knockout, slight lock out of the knees, but then instantly bend them. You want to keep them bent. You don't never want to lock them out, because then it messes up the console, the meniscus, and it's just not a good anatomically correct position. Anytime you lock out, you're actually weakening your midsection and other things and stuff like that. And when you're actually doing squats and other things, you actually do more work to your midsection than actually doing crunches or sit-ups or any other things. So it'll be down, up, 1, 2, same pace, 1, 2. And if you have a timer, have a clock, put it on the ground, and you're going to go 30 seconds, 1 set, go 45 seconds, the next set, go a minute, the next set. If you feel good, then you'll go through another rotation like that. Gotta be one exercise. So
you just go, what, you start out at 25 and then you add 5?
I start off at 30, and I add 15.
Okay, then just add 15.
Yeah, about 30 seconds. 30 seconds at a fast pace will put you into that ATP zone. So I kind of make it relative to the zones that you want to stay in. After 30 seconds into the 40-something seconds up to 70 seconds, it puts you into that intermediate phase of burning where you're burning glycogen, and the other phase that we want to work on. After that, you get into the aerobic capacity, and we're talking about oxygen as a fuel source, like doing cardiovascular, a mixture of all that. After you get to 70 seconds and beyond. So just for reference point, that's why I kind of break it down like that. Dumbbell, same thing. Put it across, my feet are connected, my hands are connected. This is a resting place that's neutral for your whole body. This is how most people do it. Over here on one side, they usually go to one side, so dumbbells are formulated like that. Same thing, kettlebell through the roof. Underneath the chin, chin up, chest up, good posture. Squat down and up. Feels like your knees, feel like your elbows are coming right outside your knees when you're coming down. And 1, 2, 1, 2. The lower you go, the more range of motion that you go, the more flexibility you work with your hips, the more you elongate the muscle like a dancer, the more the muscle has to contract to bring you back up, the more actual muscle fibers you incorporate when you're working, the better development in that muscle group. So if I only go like this, my body doesn't have to incorporate a lot of muscle fibers, not much function as far as like joint function or anything else like that. Very little development. There are times and places for things like that. We're just not going to train like that. So, with that being said, there's markings on the bar. I get my hands across, usually by neutral, where I'm about to do a pull-up. This will be your bench press, shoulder press. Every grip will be neutral, where your forearm, your onus and your radius, is straight down to your elbow, where it's actually a natural resting place. Inside here, you create a bad angle, pressure goes on your joints. Outside of here, create a bad angle, pressure goes on your other joints all throughout your arm. So this is neutral. Come underneath the bar is high on my neck. I use a high bar so that my spine can stay straight when I'm coming down. I lay down with my glutes, slight bend in my knee. I lay down with my butt. I go up with my chest and my hips, push through. If I do a low bar, and some people do it, we do it sometimes, it'll make me flatten out, so my lower back will get a lot of work. I won't get as deep. I won't be able to go as deep with a flat bar. So my hips actually stop at my knees because they only have that range of motion. When I got a low bar, I can actually go lower and use the bounce reflex. Remember, on the up, push the hips up and through. No time like the present. Let's get started.
Okay.
Let me make sure that I got the camera. And we're recording this so that you can actually see, so that you can reproduce this.
I don't be able to do this part at home. We don't have this. But...
Well, we're going to do those too. I'm going to give you the function. So, going to make sure that you're even on both sides. If you ever go to the gym, all bars have markings. You have these inside markings, you have these markings right here. So straight down will be about even like if you're going to do yourself to a pull-up. See what that is? So from the marking, you'll come to the middle point of the bar so that when you have the weight, it's not heavy on either or side. So you'll come underneath. Now, if you need to lift up your hair, you can lift up your hair, do whatever you want to. And then you make sure that your hand on that side is back even to the hand on that side. There you go. Okay. So your start, the bar will probably be lower. You start with a little mini being underneath. The hips will be underneath. There you go. The bar comes rest across the shoulders. Right here, you can feel it rest across the shoulder blade. If you lift your head up, you can feel it right against your neck. Your angle is going to be spotting up. Anytime you drop your head, you change your spine angle. So I always say, not all the way up. Probably at a little angle. I'll get a place on the ceiling because that's my drive point and that's my looking point to keep my spine and keep my body in line. That's just the easy way to know it and to practice form whenever you're doing something is to create an angle. Because if the head goes up, your body and your spine is probably going to stay up. So you get your looking point, slight bend in the knees. There you go. Bring it underneath there. So you lay down with your glutes. There you go. Well, well, it has catchy thing. I have it right there. Lean down with your glutes. There you go. And up with your up. Go ahead. Lean down with your glutes. Up with your chest and push through the hip. Lean down with your glutes. There you go. There you go. The movement down. There you go. Okay. Stay right there.
And I'm too short.
Well, no, I had it right there because I don't know what anybody's range of motion is. And so then I make sure that we just actually do stuff. So once again, lean down with your glutes. Go slow. And up. Go a little bit deep. Go down. And up. There you go. A little bounce with the top. Back down. Good angle. And up. All right. Down. And up. So once up, you blow out. Deep breath before you're about to go down. Hold. And blow out. There you go. Deep breath. There you go. And up. Everything is like that. Deep breath. So on the actual descension of the weight, you hold, you blow up. Deep breath. Good job. Now let's stay on pace. Stay on that pace. Repeat that. There you go. 2. There you go. 1, 2. Stay on that pace. 1, 2. Good job. 1, 2. Stand. You always try to repeat it. 1, 2. Good work. 1, 2. 1, 2. One more. 1, 2. Okay, so push it up. Make sure that it's right. And we said, good job. That's a beautiful job. Go ahead and get back on the bike. You always want to grab your drink and take it over there with you.
Yeah.
And if you come here and you don't bring a towel, I always have towels. I wash them.
I don't sweat all that.
Oh, that's okay. We just bring one in because you're in my domain, so you'll probably need a towel because we get after it. So get back on the bike. We don't stand. You have to learn how to drink water and pedal at the same time. Yeah, it's pretty tough. They tell me that it's almost near impossible to do that.
It's not near impossible, but I'm kind of in a weird zoned out mood today.
So that's perfect for the 1-2 breathing pace. That's what I consider a walking pace. That's something that you will want to build your aerobic capacity out past 70 seconds. Then you'll be into the anaerobic part of it. A 1 pace will be something that you would do in a 40 range, and a high repetition pace would be something that you do into the 45 range.
So really, you do I would do like the 30, the 15 up, and then the 15 up.
And you're going to
repeat that
again? Yeah, and you repeat it again. You'll do that a couple of times just to get you started. Just something to just put out there right now. We'll get into the different capacities and how to go faster and everything else as we move along. So now this one, that teaches you form because you're doing a lot of repetition. You get the feeling, you get to feel your body, you get to repeat it. When you hear me say it and you watch it on film, you'll hear me say good one. So if you hear good one, that means just repeat it. Do the same exact thing. If you hear me say, well, get your head up, get your chin out, that means, these are the little things that you didn't repeat the right one. So now, to go into the next principle is now we're going to go into the explosion part of the phase that I was talking about earlier. So athletes who do explosion, jumpers, sprinters, wrestlers, and stuff like that, have really lean body. They have lean body, but they have curvy shapes like track runners, and they hold on to their side because they use ATP and they fire off muscles and they get atrophy from their muscle fibers for the little durations of things that they do. So that's how they get into shape, and that's why gymnasts and track runners have, in my opinion, some of the best bodies in the world. The answer is something. On the explosion phase, there's a couple different explosion exercises that I use, but we're just going to be using maybe primarily 3 of them, because we're at a time restraint and just to get you up on it. So we'll go down here. You'll have air in your lungs. You'll see here in this form. When I say up, you'll go up as fast as you can to a standing position. So that tells your body what actually happens is that because of the speed and a little bit of weight, normally if you're just going at a steady pace, your body will only recruit as many muscle fibers as it needs to recruit, and it won't really fire off ATP because it already has the overload on the body as far as the weight goes. With staying down there in a pause position and then exploding up, your body recruits more muscle fibers. It contracts a lot harder. It's like if you squeeze somebody shock you with something, your body will contract real hard until they let it go. Well, your body will contract more muscle fibers, so you incorporate more muscle fibers, the neurotransmitters go to the muscle fibers. You get microtears because of the speed and the weight without overload, and it's taxing to the body. And as the body adjusts to bringing the weight up, then the muscle fibers stop firing off. So in this exercise, you have to be really fast. Try to be perfect in the sets because you don't do a lot because these muscle fibers fatigue really fast. So it's 5 reps. So you want to be 90% in it. You want to get 5 for 5, 4 for 5. You don't want to be on the 3 for 5 or whatever range because then you kind of defeat the purpose a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? So this is an efficiency workout. So that was the fire up. These are the fire down. So you're staying here. You're going to uncork and you cork, stop, drop down. That's the fire down. Then I have a both way fire. So you sell out on the up, you sell out on the down. It's each move. So you fire up, drop down, up, drop down, up. And just doing that little bit right there, I really felt my legs like get like really wired because I did legs the other day and it's really taxing. So you don't have to add a lot of weight, so it's not really a lot of room for injury, but it's really taxing on the body, and it gives some of the same principle of putting like hundreds of pounds on your body. As far as tearing in the muscle fibers, the body have to reheal, protein synthesis, utilizing energy sources, staying lean, looking good, all the things that we wish for. All right, let's come over here and get a practice. And you won't actually do that with the bands right now because this will be a principle that you're trained with me because it's actually easier. Good job. There you go. Good job. There you go. Spot. Angle. All right, start down. So you'll go down to the clip, stay down there. Air in your lungs. When I say fire up, you fire up as fast as you can. Ready? Up. Good job. Back down. That's fine. Definitely be aggressive. It's time to be an athlete. Up. Good job. Back down. Up. Good job. A little slow. Stay up. Now you're going to fire down. Be an athlete. Hold the angle. Stay locked in. Be conscious of what you're doing. Ready? Down. There you go. So all the way down. Yeah. Stay down. Back down. Go back up. Let your hips don't pop when you go down. So it's boom. Ready? Down. Back up, stay down. Yeah, don't worry about it.
How long do I stay down there?
You just sit down and you just stay down until I say back up. Ready? Or actually, once you get down there, I just want a complete movement. So what I want you to do, you can come back up. All right, like I said, all right, go down, down, go down, go down. So I want you to complete. Once you're down here and you're comfortable that you completed, then you can come back up to refire. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be in between. You know what I'm saying? Be decisive in the bottom when you're done. Ready? Down. There you go. Then back up. One more down, that was a good one right there. Hold on, say it. Ready? Ready? All right, ready?
Okay. Am I going down this time?
Unlock your knees, make sure you stay down. Ready? Angle, ready? Down. Good job. Stay down, stay down. Now we're going up and we're going down. Ready? Up, see? Down. Come on. Up. Wait till I say ready? Okay. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. One more. Up. Good job. Good job.
I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's actually taxing. You see how it was? And you really have to be aggressive. And what I really want you to do, inside what we're doing, and it's nothing against girls, because guys do the same thing, but I'm going to make the statement, and it's a reflection of what women usually do. They usually get timid. It's usually just a characteristic of women. And when they're uncomfortable, they get laughy and they don't pay attention. In this type of situation, in this type of situation, that's a lead or that's a precursor to injury. I need you to stay engaged, locked in. You know what I'm saying? Every time you cross over to here, we're entering into a danger zone. I need you to be focused and aware. What I usually do when people do that is that we'll start the whole workout over again, and we'll do it because then they know the importance of being engaged and the importance of time and being locked in. Because you're only going to be in a workout really doing the actual work maybe 15 minutes, maybe 11 minutes. Everything else will be about recovery. I'll be timing you a minute and some rest because I know you fully recovered, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. So when you leave here, when you're over here and you're doing this, yeah, you're multitasking, but you can be more relaxed. We can talk and go over things over here. When you're over into this area, we need to be locked in because we don't have time to waste. We need to be efficient. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. We need to be safe. You understand what I'm saying? That was a great job, though. Good job. Okay. Now the other movement in legs, and I'm going to demonstrate with the dumbbell that was a squatty. Now there's a lifting movement. So with the dumbbell, with anything, and I'm going to actually use the sumo. What I mean by the sumo is I'm going to turn my feet out. My heels now feel like they're right to the outside part of my shoulder where my delts is, and my toes are all at an angle as such. So when I go down, I lay down once again with my butt, my chin up, stay up, chest stay up. So I'm sitting through here, and I push up and through. I don't go here and get away from my body, because we will move through a movement like that, but that's more with your feet neutral, and you come forward and you come up. And what that actually does, that works the lower back, the hamstrings, and the glutes. So when you come up, you squeeze the glutes, keep the glutes up high, keep my hips up high, going forward and coming up. It's called a stiff leg deadlift. So that works the posterior chain of my muscles. Squeeze my glutes. This is a sumo. This is the abductors, the glycis, pentana, adductor magnus, longus, brevis, semitendinosus, semimembriosus, all those muscles. Big muscle groups make the legs look well. So,
big word.
yeah, well, they thought of it. These are the muscles that they call it. I'll just call it muscle groups. You don't have to know that. And that's the difference between working those particular muscles. These are the abducting muscles that pull the leg in. The adducting muscles are the gluteus minimus maximus, iliotibial band, hip flexors, so when you're pushing the leg outward. And I do have an exercise for this. You get wide, grab this. So you grab the whole thing and you lift up. And it'll be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you can do that at home. You also use the bar, so join the party. Join the party. So go ahead. Yeah, it'll help.
My
it'll
brain
help you.
functioning
It will.
too.
It'll help you. It definitely helps.
Okay. So
go ahead and stand along these lines right here so you can actually see. There you go. And let me make sure you're on camera.
Is it outside of shoulder length?
It's probably right down to shoulder, so your heels will probably feel like they're right
Under?
at your shoulders. And you can turn them out as far as you want to. Pirouetting is fine. So go ahead and lay down with your glutes. Don't bend forward. So make sure you balance. You don't have to turn them out.
This is a core thing too.
Yep. So lay down with your glutes. There you go. And up. There you go. Down with your glutes and up with your chest. There you go. Go again. Keep going. Touch the ground. Stay balanced. And up. Yep. And up. Good job. Keep going. And up. Keep going. And up. Touch the ground. Same rhythm. Repeat it. And up. Keep the chest up. Lay down with your glutes. And up. You're getting tired. Keep the chest up. Go down. And up. There you go. Go down. And up. There you go. Yep. And down. And up. Good job. Go ahead and go back to the back. Now you can actually see when I came up with my hand, and you can see how when your core
really
and your abductor muscles fatigue, we went into the bending forward and all the other things. And that's part of posture. That's part of strengthening the whole core. That's part of strengthening everything. So you can see how much work you actually have. And that was maybe 15
Even
seconds.
my range of motion, I can
Yeah,
tell isn't
exactly.
there.
And that was maybe 15 seconds. But that's partially because you haven't worked those muscles, so it is a little bit of muscle memory that you have to get there. And then it's partially because you probably will have to strengthen those muscles. You strengthen those muscles, you work those muscles, they look better, everything starts to tighten up. You know, it goes down into the snowball effect. So that is the deadlift. That was the sumo one. So I'm gonna have you come back again and let me demonstrate. I want to demonstrate this way for the camera so you can see. So this is the stiff leg one. This is the one that you want to do. On a stiff leg one, you have a slight bend in athletic position, so it's like this. But your hips don't go up and down. Your hip angle really don't change that much. So you lean forward. So the weight feel like it comes to your toes, and then it comes back to the middle part of your body. Your knees are still slightly bent, and they don't straighten all the way
The
out.
only thing that moves really is just your
It is your core, and it works your hamstring, your glutes, and your hip flexor. So let's go ahead and do it, and let's face that way so you can actually get a camera angle. So exactly how you want to, and the best way that I know to do this, if you point your feet neutral and keep them closer together inside your shoulder, with a bar inside your hands, that would be straight down from your shoulders. It's actually a lot easier because you don't go out that way. So slightly bend your knees. So go ahead and lean forward, stand up.
Maybe if I put that there first.
Okay. All right, let's do it without it. Okay, let's stand right here. So when you go down, remember posture, chin up, chest up. When you go down, keep your chest up, chin up. So you lean like this, so you're actually stretching from the glutes part. So go for it up. There you go. Arcing your back. There you go. There you go. And back down. There you go. Good job. Squeeze. There you go. Squeeze the hips through. There you go. So you're feeling your lower back, glutes. There you go. Don't pull your arms up. That's what happens when you get tired. Let your arms stay hanging. There you go. Just working the area you work. There you go. Hips come up, forward and through. Good job. Keep your arms long. Forward and through. Two more. Forward and through. One more. Hips forward and through. Good job. Go ahead and sit it down. All right, back on the bike. Good work. And believe it or not, I have an exercise for these. So you step and it'll be halfway up.
Alright, so it's the same as the other one, it's just your...
Except it's your glutes, there's different muscle groups in your legs. So you pull these up, keep it out here, and 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. You got it?
Yes.
Those are the primary movements that we will be doing. There is one that you can do.
How much is that?
This one was a 15 pounder.
Okay, because I think the highest I have is 10.
Okay, that's fine.
So.
That's fine. Because even if you just had a 10 and you wanted to add more tension onto it.
Like I said, I have a ton of those. I should just find them online to see which one is what.
This is how you add more tension to the weights you already have.
Alright, that makes sense. There's some of those bands that I have that are like this thick.
Yeah, and they'll probably be really good. I could actually send me a photo of them, or if you bring them over next time, I could actually utilize them and you can take them back and we'll I'm sweating. As you can see, it's really efficient. That's what a workout will probably be, something like that. And you guys should stop pedaling now. And that is the session. As far as how the session goes, the next time